I was born right outside of Chicago in a tiny suburb called Cary and lived there until 4th grade, and that's when we moved to North Carolina. I grew up in Raleigh. I have a sister and met my husband Ben at Appalachian. We've been married for 15 years and we have 2 little girls, Sydney and Kelsey. Sydney is 9 and Kelsey's 7. I learned about Appalachian my freshman year in high school. I was on the varsity softball team, and there was a wonderful senior named Stephanie Schaefer who sort of took me under her wing, and she was going to Appalachian. And I thought that sounded like a great idea. I didn't know anything about Appalachian, and so I went up to visit her, and right away I knew that's where I needed to be. Being a student at Appalachian was really awesome. I think for me, being at a university where the class sizes were small, where I really got to know my professors, where I got to know the students that were in my classes really well, was perfectly suited for me. It's what I needed. So my undergraduate degree was in health promotion. I had a minor in athletic training, which kept me very involved in sports medicine at Appalachian. And then I stayed and did my graduate work in sports management. And I worked hard, and it was great. It was so much fun, and it never felt like work. And so when I graduated, I knew that if I wanted to have a career that made me happy, I would need to find something that didn't feel like work. And that's what I was able to do at Appalachian. So Press Ganey is a company that basically collects data for hospitals on patient satisfaction, patient quality, and employee engagement in hospitals. So my company is responsible for basically collecting the voice of patients, and my role within the company is to work with hospitals to take that data and to turn it into action so that they can create a better experience for their patients. I recently have transitioned to the job where I work from home, so I typically find myself answering phone calls, emails, whatever is going on, responding to those types of things all day. I have always had a very keen interest in health. It started for me as a child. I saw a lot of family members and people around me get sick young. For really preventable diseases, and when I experienced those things as a child, it really made me want to do whatever I could to help people be healthy. And I think as I began to study, I really learned that getting children on board is where it's at. So healthy eating is very important to me and to my family. My girls have grown up eating well, so it's a habit for them. It's really rewarding and meaningful to me when I can do things that help children and children's health specifically. Unfortunately, a lot of the schools have been cut from funding for health, physical education, those types of things. So the Post Center really fills that gap that we have, and I just feel really fortunate to be a part of that work. So the Post Center for Health Education is a nonprofit based here in Raleigh, whose mission is to teach children from preschool through about 8th grade healthy habits and healthy messages around physical activity, nutrition, drug prevention, dental health, really anything health related. I became involved with the Post Center when I was an employee at Wake Med. Wake Med was just very involved in the community, and they knew the passion that I had for health education and for children. And so I was basically given a role there on the board of directors by virtue of my employment, and it was a perfect fit. I think the way Appalachian prepared me the most is because my education was so holistic and so complete. It wasn't just, I never focused down on one thing and really just learned about one thing. Whether it was sports medicine or health promotion or whatever it was that I was studying, we looked at things really broadly, and I think that's another reason why I did well. I like to be creative and think. I don't like to take a test where there's necessarily a right or wrong answer. And I think that the education at Appalachian really helped me with my critical thinking skills that have really translated to everything that I've done in my career. It was probably the year after I graduated, maybe 2 years, but probably the year after I graduated, I was feeling Appalachian withdrawal really, really bad. I called Kinsey Green in the alumni office and I told her I was in withdrawal. And I learned very quickly that if you say you want something to do at Appalachian, they will give you a volunteer job very quickly. So she asked me to be the president of the Triangle chapter of the Alumni Association. I did that for a few years, and then after that I moved into an officer role with the Alumni Association, which gives you a year as president, which was honestly one of the most fun years of my entire life. My parents always taught me to never forget where you came from and to always give back. And that's what I feel about Appalachian. It's where I came from, and well, when you have a voicemail on your cell phone from the chancellor, you know it's either really good or really bad. And when Dr. Everett left me the message that she needed to talk to me, I was really hopeful that something bad hadn't happened. And when I called and she told me that I had received the award, I still don't really believe it. It's such an honor because, I'm sorry, I'm gonna cry. You can tell it means a lot. It means a lot. I don't think that anyone can understand how much I love Appalachian. I really don't. I really don't. And the fact that the university is honoring me for me loving them seems crazy. So I'm very tearful about it. I don't know what to say.